Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Southern Cross University's Open Day. Thanks for joining us for the panel about getting to know SCU. My name's Claudia. I'm part of the Future Students team here at Southern Cross and will be your host today. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the lands of the Bundjalung Nation today and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. We're here today to share insights about studying with Southern Cross. This is a 25-minute panel and we will allow for about 5 to 10 minutes at the end if anyone has any questions. So today I am lucky to be joined by 3 students here at Southern Cross. So we have Oriana, Alana and Olivia. So hi guys. Can I start by asking everyone to introduce yourselves? So let's start with you, Oriana.
Hi, I'm Oriana. I'm a third-year Bachelor of Social Work student with Southern Cross University. I live here, but my classes are based on the Gold Coast campus.
And I'm Alana, and I am a second year of a Bachelor of Sport and Exercise Science, and I'm a local.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm studying the Bachelor of Midwifery. I'm studying at the Gold Coast campus, but I live in the Lismore area and do all of my studying here as well.
Great. So can you each tell us what you most like about studying with Southern Cross?
So I think my favourite thing about Southern Cross University would have to be the small class size and the really personal interaction I have with my teachers. I don't feel like I'm just a number. Most of my tutors know me by name. I've crossed paths with them several times now, and they're always there for anything you need help, just like you're talking to one of your high school teachers.
I'm the same as Oriana. The class sizes are the best, and I'd also love how close you are with your other classmates. Like you're like one big family. You're like see each other and study together, and you book the spaces in the library. And yeah, it's like really good to have other people in the same thing that you want to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just love sort of studying at the Lismore campus. You always are running into somebody that you know, and everybody's really beautiful and welcoming, and I just feel really accepted as well, which is great.
Fantastic. And what are your favourite things about the Lismore campus specifically?
I think my favourite thing about the Lismore campus specifically would have to be the beautiful environment. You never get bored of choosing a place to study. One day you might want to study in the library. One day it might be a beautiful day outside and you're studying in outdoor areas. Every nook and cranny on campus has somewhere that you can sit down and study. And we have the beautiful Goodman Plaza just outside, which is, if you don't want to have a quiet study session, there's always live music, there's something happening. And I think just overall the natural environment and just the feel of the Lismore campus has to be one of my favourite things.
Yeah, wow. Oriana stole my words, but she's right. It's really good. And another thing I love about my degree especially is all the equipment and facilities we get to use. SU has some really good facilities and equipment that we are able to use, and there's the gym, there's the pool, which is really nice, and I love the library because it's 3 stories. You can either sit and chat with your friends, or you can go to up to the level 3 and just just don't talk to anyone and just focus on your studies.
Definitely. So the girls have pretty much covered what I was going to say, but the Learning Centre, the library, is so good. It's the place where I get most of my study done, and it really is a space that allows you to concentrate and sort of get all of your assignments done, which I find really helpful. And then, of course, if you are feeling peckish, you can go out to the Goodman Plaza and everybody's really welcoming, and you can get a coffee or just relax. It's been, really good. I love the Lismore campus.
Great. Thanks, guys. So, Oriana, you travelled to come and study at Southern Cross. Can you tell us about that experience?
Hi. So, I spent about the first 8 years of my life around Tweed Heads. And then for the rest of my schooling and high school career, I went to Coffs Harbour High School. So I've grown up around that area. And while we did have a Southern Cross there, Leaving home and moving out was kind of the next chapter I wanted to take. I wanted to have that adventure. But the best part about Lismore and Coffs Harbour is I'm only 2.5 hours away from home if I want to go back. But I think it was a perfect opportunity because they were offering my degree here. So I just thought, why not? I just think it was a really good adventure and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, great. And you live on campus now. What are the benefits of that?
So one of my favorite things about living on campus is the fact that in a good way, it kind of forces you into making friends. In my first year of uni as a 17-year-old, I was in a house with 5 other people I'd never met before, completely different degrees, completely different walks of life. We'd all come from different places and they're still some of my closest friends today. And even if your first set of roommates isn't one of your best friends, at least you have that experience of meeting new people. I learned things about different degrees that I hadn't heard of before. We'd all share study methods. We'd all, it's just a great way of kind of pushing yourself into a community because it's something you all have in common, even if it's not your degrees.
Fantastic. So, Olivia, Southern Cross prides itself on providing work-integrated and hands-on learning experiences. And I know that you have done quite a few work placements as part of your course. Can you share some details about those with the group?
Yeah, sure. So I'm studying the Bachelor of Midwifery, and we do have quite a lot of hands-on learning with that degree. So I've done all of my placements up at Lismore Base Hospital, and I've done about 5 placements now, so it's quite extensive. But we get to be really, really hands-on in our practice, and it's really solidified a lot of my skills. It really puts into place the skills that you learn in class with being out on placement and interacting with colleagues and getting to know also the people in your degree as well. So currently I've delivered about 20 babies. I've been involved with all of that process, which has been amazing, and get to support women with their labour and birth hands-on, which has been awesome. I feel very privileged. But yeah, so we do about 1,000 hours in the Bachelor of Midwifery, and you really get sort of an idea of what it's going to be like once you graduate and get out into the workforce. I'm in my 3rd year now, so I'm feeling really, really equipped to get out there and get started.
Fantastic. And that work placement is a really big focus of most of the degrees here at Southern Cross. And Oriana, I know that you've also done a couple of placements. Can you tell us about that?
Hi, so I'm a Bachelor of Social Work student, and with my degree, we do 1,000 hours of official placement to get our accreditation by the Australian Association of Social Workers. So I haven't started my official first 500 hours yet. That starts in January next year. But one of the best things about the social work degree is through each individual unit, we're always encouraged and pushed to volunteer, pushed to get ourselves into the community. And through that, it's really strengthened my connections in the social work world just as a student. For example, last year in one of my social welfare degrees, one of our tasks was to actually go out and volunteer, do 3 days of volunteer work in the community, and then we had to write our assignment on that. So as much as that was only a little taster of what placement could be, I found it really valuable, and it kind of guides you into what areas you want to actually do your 500 hours of placement in to start off with.
Yeah, definitely. And Alana, you represent the uni in a couple of different ways. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so I'm a student ambassador and also a sports ambassador. So I work as a student ambassador, and there's so many events you get to attend, like expos, you do campus tours, you get to go to the graduations, there's abundance of different jobs you get to do with student ambassador. And then I'm also a sports ambassador, so I run all the social sport at Lismore campus. So we have 3 to 4 social events each week, which I run, which includes like volleyball, basketball. You've got the multi-sports. Like there's so many different opportunities that SU has to offer that you can go for, which is really good.
And you're about to embark on an exciting trip. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm actually going with the uni to New Zealand. There's a snow trip each year, and they take 40 students and it's a 1 week in Queenstown, and we'll be either snowboarding or skiing. And there's so many events. So there's like a pub crawl one night. There's a gondola dinner. There's meet other people from obviously all different campuses. So like there's some people coming from Sydney, Coffs Harbour, Lismore, and the Gold Coast, and obviously all the other branches as well. So that will be really fun. And yeah, so a week away sounds pretty good.
Yeah, great. And I think that's a really great thing about Southern Cross is that, you know, it's small enough that you can have that great lifestyle, but big enough for these sort of opportunities. So, Oriana, can you tell us about some of the student support services that are available with Southern Cross, and have you accessed any of these?
So Southern Cross University is really well-rounded in the support services they offer. So we offer inclusion services, so they're for students identifying with disabilities, mental health, that are needing accommodations around exams or classes, things like that. And once you've accessed the inclusion services, you have a profile in there for the remainder of your degree as well. I can speak on that because that's something I've accessed in my first year and I still utilize it to this day. When it comes to accommodations for exams or extensions, medical certificates, things like that. We also offer counselling services, and this can be a long-term thing that you're accessing weekly, or it can also just be a one-off. We can never predict what's going to happen in life, especially when you're a uni student. So it's really nice to know that there's always emotional support offered on campus. We have our chaplain service. We have equity and diversity and inclusion, all located in the plaza. We also have counselling services available. And then we also have academic support. So we have Learning Zone, which is online and can be accessed in person. So that's just for your academic writing, any skills, any proofreading you need. And I've accessed Learning Zone, Study Buddy, Inclusion, Diversity. I can really vouch for all of them. As someone who moved away from home so young, I've always felt really supported with Southern Cross.
Yeah, that's really great to know. And a couple of other programs include the Indigenous Student Support Service, a uni mentor program, a study buddy program, as Oriana mentioned, whereby you are matched up with someone to support your studies together. So that's something that is a real focus at Southern Cross. Liv, you studied a pathway course before starting your current course. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I studied the Preparing for Success program. It's a 12-week course and it's free at Southern Cross University. And I really just studied that so that I could build up my academic skills again. So I'd had a little break after finishing school. And I feel like I just needed that refresher before going into my bachelor's degree. And that really, really helped. I studied that at the Lismore campus, and I chose to study a couple of my units on campus and a couple of my units online, which allowed me to have a bit more flexibility to sort of keep working and have a bit of a study-life balance. But it was really, really beneficial. I found it pretty important before going into my bachelor's, just because it teaches you all of the fundamental sort of skills of university. So it teaches you how to reference and gives you the skills to have a work-life balance as well, and different sort of studying methods so that you can sort of put that into place at home as well, which has been really good.
Fantastic. And Oriana, you won a scholarship. How has this helped with your studies?
Yeah, so I won the university's Chancellor's Scholarship, which is an $8,000 scholarship that goes into your bank account in 2 lots of $4,000, which is free to use however you'd like for university expenses. That, I can't even tell you how much that helped me in my first year of university. It just took off so much strain of buying textbooks, and it made sure I was really equipped for my first semester of uni. I didn't want to be showing up to class missing something. So it really just took a load off. It helped with life expenses like rent. But it also made me feel motivated because I really felt like the university valued me as a person. So, that really solidified my choice to come here. And Southern Cross University has scholarships available not just for first years. They're offered all throughout all stages of university life, including PhD, masters. And the great thing about Southern Cross is there's one scholarship form. You fill that out, and then you're matched with what you're eligible for. So yeah, the best advice I can give you for a scholarship is always try. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't get it. The best thing that can happen is you get money. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you don't need to be a student yet. You can apply for scholarships before as well, and there's lots of different scholarships that are available. So I agree with Oriana. I encourage everyone to apply. So guys, what excites you about starting your career when you finish with Southern Cross? Let's go down this way this time. Yeah. Liv, what about you?
I'm super excited to get out there and start supporting women all throughout their pregnancy and then labour and birth and postnatally as well. I feel like I already have the skills to get out there and just being out in the workforce is going to really solidify that for me. So I'm super excited for that.
Great. What about you, Alana?
I'm really excited to get into the workforce and also be like fully equipped from SU. So having done all the placements when I do complete them and have connections and like network with different associations that SU has, like in my degree, the North Coast Academy of Sport. And so I'm volunteering for them now and then hope to do my placement or with them and then possibly who knows what could go from there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what has to offer once I do complete my bachelor, and then I want to go on and do a my clinical exercise physiology after this one.
Awesome. What about you?
I'm really excited just to get in there and start helping people. I think, with social work, it is such a diverse field. There are more areas of practice that I can count. And through my units at Southern Cross University, I'm able to get a taste of each one. So by the time I'm ready to graduate and I graduate with my accreditation, I've kind of looked at the field and I can know which one that I'm kind of gravitating towards. And at the moment, my degree has prepared me with enough knowledge that I'm starting to get my foot in the field now. I'm working in disability and I'm working in mental health through the skills I've learned with Southern Cross. So I'm really just excited to get out there and practice them full time.
Yeah, fantastic. And is there anything that you guys think is important for future students to know?
Yeah, so definitely get to know your cohort. They're going to be your biggest support throughout your degree. I feel like nobody quite gets it like your cohort does. So you'll find that you become really, really good lifelong friends from that.
And I also think, obviously, definitely do all aspects of uni life. So get involved with the different there's so many different volunteer options that SU has to offer. So like jump at them, do as many as you can, and like familiarize yourself with the campus. So then coming to your first class isn't so scary, and yeah, just like fully immerse yourself into uni life.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I think, yeah, definitely lean into it and really take advantage of the ability for a really good work-life balance that Southern Cross has to offer. I feel like we have a lot of flexibility for you to be able to have a social life, for you to be able to volunteer, interact on campus, and do well in your studies. So yeah, just take advantage of everything that there is to offer, because you don't want to get to the end of your degree and realize there were so many things you didn't try.
Yeah, that's really good points, guys. I think, uni is such a awesome time of your life. So as much as you can get out of it, the better it can be. So has anyone got any questions for the panel here? Oh, yeah.
From what I do know, I know there's the bouldering club and the art club is also student run.
There's a student association on each campus that run a series of events and activities throughout the year. And then there's also a range of different sports teams too. Yeah, do you want to touch on that, Alana?
Yeah, so there's all different types, and like during the week we have different events. So, and even like you've got Unisport Nationals that you can attend, and there's like campus clashes. So what we try and do is combine the campuses and have like a sport day and stuff. So there's a range of different things that we offer.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. to the panel here. And thank you so much for everyone for joining the panel here about Get to Know Southern Cross. If you have any further questions or you'd like to have a chat with someone, or you are going to apply for a course today and would like some support, please head down to the plaza where you can speak to the friendly team down there. There's the student services through the glass doors or the information desk at the front. So just grab someone there. We've got a few more panels that are running throughout the day, and tours are leaving every 20 minutes. So if you haven't taken a tour of the campus, I encourage you to head over to the desk and take a tour. But thanks so much to everyone again for joining.